all the members of the panel have been invited here today because the work you have done is ahead of the work of others in your sector. You're in the lead. And although markets need feedback to grow, they also, of course, grow through peer group perception, peer group pressure. So if I were to put you on the spot and ask you to do a bit of marketing for the concept of climate services, I'd ask you, what would you say to your peer, your competitor in your own sector who is not yet thinking to the extent that you are about why they may need to do that? What's your, as it were, health advice about them seeking the medical advice? And I'm going to put Tanya on the spot for this too, because I'd like the agricultural voice. Paul, can we start at your end of the table?
I spend my time communicating this to businesses, and I would say really there'll be winners and losers from a transition to a low carbon economy. There will be winners and losers from changes in the physical climate, and by utilising climate services you will be a winner. You will be a more resilient business, you'll be a low carbon business, everybody will love your brand more, and that's why you should buy climate services today.
I think if you use climate services, you can minimize your risk to climate change. If you have options to adapt in time, and we have time until climate change really starts after 2050.
So how to be a winner, how not to be a loser, yes? Carlo.
Well, use climate services because the world is changing, and by using it, when your competitors will be asking to himself what is happening, you will have the solution.
Well, climate change is a business imperative, and to make good decisions, you need to have reliable information, and I think that's where it's all about. And it's not about private or public. I think we need each other to really bring this together, align with business needs.
Well, what I would just say is that we are facing a period of complex changes, and climate change is only one part of it. And so we need tools and elements to face and to adapt to these changes. And climate services is one of these important tools.
Okay, in my experience, I think I don't straight off say all the cool people are doing it, but I do insist on resource efficiency. In fact, and I think someone else said this, but at risk of putting myself out of a job, I'm starting to think that environment is dead, to throw something out there. This is about innovation, this is about business sense, this is about logic. And when you look at the cost of raw materials, it's only going up. So if you want to survive, if you want to be a player, you got to join the bandwagon.
Yes. When it comes to agriculture, sometimes the pressures are so high that it's difficult to look ahead the next 2 years. So a good example is the wine sector, where we are losing some of our very valuable wines. And when I explain this with the wine, then everybody understands, oh yes, that is good. But where are we moving? And then to find the right consultant and the right person who can give the right indications, then it starts difficult. But the best way of marketing is align it with your investment. This works. And this is really the discussion that we have, and to choose the same time frames in the policy so that allow the right investments. And this, I think this is a common work that we need to do, and there everybody understands in that language.
I think if I were to pull all those comments together into one, it's to say that it's clear that the future will not look like the past, and that information about climate change is going to be a crucial factor for getting on top of that challenge,